Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Taiwan in the United States and how the United States is doing things a little bit differently. We're going to talk about some assistance that's being provided, why it's being provided in the way it is, and what it means for U.S. foreign policy. And we're going to do this because there has been a little bit of an uptick in assistance headed to Taiwan, and we got a direct question. And the short version of the question is, hey, Ukraine is begging for F-16s and has been for a while. The United States is providing F-16s and advanced tracking equipment to Taiwan. Why? What's going on is basically the question. The answer is simple. What has been the issue with Ukraine? They didn't have the equipment, right? And Ukraine is in Europe, where the U.S. has a whole bunch of friends, a whole bunch of places to drop stuff off at, a whole bunch of logistical channels. They don't have that with Taiwan. The United States is providing more assistance to Taiwan right now simply because it learned from its mistake. They don't want to be in a situation where they are caught relatively off guard by a Chinese advance and not be able to get them supplies. It's that old question, when did Noah build the ark? Before the flood. That's what the U.S. is trying to do. That's what Taiwan is trying to do. There is a desire to make sure that the pieces are on the ground, to make sure that Taiwan can hold its own in a more effective manner. If a duplicate situation was to play out, in Ukraine from the very beginning, people who were very aware of the different ways that it could go, a lot of people were like, yeah, defend deep, wait for the supplies to get there, it'll be all right, you'll be able to push them back. General tone. They can't do that on Taiwan. It's an island. It would be much harder to provide support after the fact. It would have to be direct support in that case. And that appears to be something that the Biden administration doesn't want to do, understandably. So I think the hope in this case, as weird as this sounds, is literally peace through superior firepower. The idea is to provide Taiwan with enough of a deterrent of its own that China doesn't make a move. That's the foreign policy angle on it. So the F-16 stuff, that's big news right now. And believe me, China's going to be mad. But I wouldn't expect that to be the end of it either. The United States is probably going to provide even more equipment of various types. And it's in the hopes of deterring a conflict, because the United States would have a very hard time supplying Taiwan. It absolutely could not do what it's doing for Ukraine with Taiwan. The logistical chain, it's way more complicated. So they're trying to avoid being put in that situation. They're learning from their mistakes. It's really that simple. Again, I don't see it as an immediate hotspot. I think these moves are designed to make sure that it stays warm rather than hot. At the same time, China's not going to be happy about it. They are not going to be happy about this latest move. And we'll have to wait and see what their response is. My guess is that at first they're just going to come out and be like, we are going to respond to this. And then they will slow roll on a response. And it'll be a diplomatic one, just to be clear. But But that's where we're at, and that's the answer to that. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.